I'm here with Robin Beanland. Robin is the music director here at Rare. Nice to see you, Robin.
Nice to meet you.
Now, part of Sea of Thieves, one of the magical moments is the music.
Thank you.
It's certainly something that when I was playing the game, it was expected yet unexpected. Some of those great moments. Tell us about the music in Sea of Thieves.
Okay, so I think one of the first sort of bits of feedback I got was, what would a pirate orchestra sound like? So I started sort of thinking on that and thinking on the instruments that we'd use and it not being too perfect and almost like the pirate is just getting around the instrument, not a virtuoso on it. They just sort of kind of carry a tune on it.
Sure.
So it was that kind of thing, getting all the creaks and the scratchiness of it.
Tell us about the actual theme music when players are joining the game. That's something you wrote.
It is, yeah. So the theme, usually, I mean, traditionally when I come to write a theme for a game, I'll usually sit at the piano, noodle about, and sort of come up with some sort of melodies. The other things we did was I wanted to make some rhythm bones because I'd seen them and I thought they were really
what are
cool.
these?
These are cow ribs.
Okay.
And you play them. So I went to my local butcher and I said, have you got any cow ribs, flat ribs? And he said, what are you making, spare ribs? And I said, no, I'm making some rhythm bones. And he's like,
right.
What? So I had my iPad because I thought I'm about to get that question. So I showed him. He said, "Oh yeah, you need the flat ribs. Come back on Friday."
Okay.
So I went back, got a bag of ribs, boiled them off in my pan at home, and then cut them down to these. And it took me about 3 days to try and get that technique down. But while I was sat in here, trying not to disturb everybody else, I was just going.
So you're trying to find the sound.
Yeah, and I was just messing around with that. I thought that's a pretty cool rhythm. And I started layering that rhythm up. So that's the first thing that I did for the Sea of Thieves theme. And then I put a melody to that, which is quite unusual for me.
And is there a name of the song?
I think we've called it Maiden Voyage.
Now, I want to talk about some of the instruments, because some of the instruments you use, you have some here. Why don't you bring them up here?
Yep.
You've got this one here, which is a...
Concertina.
This is a concertina.
Yep.
Which looks like an accordion. What's the difference?
Well, the accordion has the sort of piano keys either side, and this is buttons.
Okay. Could you play this for us?
I can give you a little go on it.
Okay, now this is actually the same instrument that people hear in the game.
This is, if you pick up the concertina,
which is something in game you can do.
This is it.
Okay.
This is the one.
Why don't you give us a little something?
So it's We spent a long time going through a big cabinet of these at the shop.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry. There's a shop that sells these still?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I had a big cabinet full of them, and they all really nice.
Right.
They all sounded really nice and really just a bit nice, though.
Too nice.
Too nice, and then we landed. This one was skulking around the back, and so what's happened? Let's have a go on that. Just the notes are a bit kind of dull, and some don't work, and it's all really.
Yeah.
You can hear it breathing.
Yeah.
And it's just, we record all that stuff in game, so you get that.
And it adds life to the game.
Yeah, it sounds like something that's been sort of living on a pirate ship and not taken care of.
The other one is the hurdy-gurdy, which is this really fascinating, sophisticated instrument that, this again is another instrument you can play in game. Yep. But I know you're getting all strapped in here, which concerns me.
I am, because it costs a lot of money and I'm scared of dropping it.
Okay, that's okay. So this one here you can also play in game, but it's got a very interesting sound. So tell us about this.
So this is a hurdy-gurdy, and it's kind of like a violin, but instead of having a bow, like you have here.
Right. Instead of having the bow.
Instead of have a bow, you've got this crank and a wheel.
Okay.
Here that you.
So imagine this is the bow right here.
This is the bow.
Okay, so go ahead and play it.
And then you've got your melody strings here.
Again, this is the same one that you recorded in game. Sounds familiar. But you can play this in game, and this is the one you recorded.
This is the one you play in game, and it's one of those things. We took a bit of artistic license with it. You can't play on that's a drone string, so you can't play a bass line on it other than that single note. So what I did is I used auto-tune and kind of made up bass lines, so it was a bit more sort of harmonically interesting. So it's not accurate, but it's kind of as long as it's believable in Sea of Thieves.
Now I noticed when you're playing in the game, if I was playing this device and you were to come along and the game does an interesting thing where you start playing in harmony together, right?
Yes.
So you're playing and I'm playing. All of a sudden, the game just handles that.
Yeah. So if you start playing first,
I can't play this at all. That's pretty much it.
If you start playing first,
right.
you'll play the lead line.
Right.
And then if I join in on the hurdy, I'll start accompanying you.
What about this says pirate?
I just think it's kind of looks like a pirate ship for a start.
Sure.
And it's just
that sound.
It's just that sound and that scratchy. When I first got it, I was pretty scared of it because when I first got the strings on it, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But then it's just got that kind of scratchy, horrible, clicky piratiness to it.
Yeah.
I think.
Now I want to talk about this fascinating device over here. Let's pull this out here. Now this is actually one I can play. Now, what is the name of this one?
This is a waterphone.
This is a waterphone. Now, so I'm gonna draw this across here. We're gonna make it work, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. Fascinating. So, where did you use this in game?
You'll hear this a lot on the ghost ship, on the Ferry of the Damned. If you get to the edge of the world, you'll hear. I use this waterphone, and then I put it through a piece of software called Pull Stretch, which can do this amazing time stretch. And it just because it's so harmonically interesting. When it's stretched out, it creates this amazing sort of soundscape. You
really were allowed a creative license to go through and create the sound for Sea of Thieves out of using a variety of different instruments.
I think that's the thing. I think we just wanted to sort of get these instruments and play them, not necessarily in the correct way that you should play them, just to try and create this sort of signature sound for Sea of Thieves, so that if you hear it, you go, that's Sea of Thieves. That sound palette is Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
And the way we make it work in game is, it's not just a piece of music that starts from here and goes to there and then loops around. It's broken out into individual bits that trigger, and it has a life of its own beyond me. If you know what I mean. The software drives it, and it feels like it's part of the universe, and it's on the wing.
Yeah, between the concertina and the hurdy-gurdy, these are things that you normally wouldn't expect in game, but when they're there, they just provide those delightful little moments.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you very much.